Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of The Geek and the Freak. We are a podcast. My name is Gray, and I'm with my good friend, as ever, Emily. Emily, hi. How are you?
Hello, Gray. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, a little bit tired, a little bit jaded. Probably can hear a little bit of my voice, I think.
Oh, you're a little bit croaky. Do we have a couple of cigarettes at the
Oh
weekend?
dear. Do you know what? We had so many cigarettes that today. So today, obviously, I'm not smoking. Now I'm back home. Well, not smoking today. Did smoke yesterday all day. Uh,
All
so
day?
yeah, all day. Not like I didn't constantly have a cigarette in my mouth. But when I got back home, I can continue to smoke, and I was like, right, I'm going to throw the last of the
I
cigarettes.
gotta finish the packet.
Well, yeah, so I did, but I didn't quite. So I had two left, and I was like, right, I'm just going to chuck them in the bin. So I put them in the bin, and then today I
Okay.
got to 11 o'clock. Obviously, had not had a cigarette.
Fish them out the bin.
No, I was good. I was good, but I did have a nicotine lozenge after my coffee. I did have a
Oh,
nicotine.
steady on, sailor.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay, so come on in. So, for those of you who might have missed it last week, weekend just gone, Gray was at the Isle of Wight Festival. So, well, glorious weather.
Yes, the weather was absolutely glorious. It was boiling hot. So Friday wasn't
Yeah.
too bad. It was hot, but it starts later, so you don't get up to the site really until about sort of 2 o'clock in the
Hmm.
afternoon. And then there was no bands on until 4. So and
Right.
it wasn't as hot. Saturday,
Saturday was blistering.
it was blistering. There was like a shower at about
Nice.
11 o'clock. So it was raining as we drove up to the site, actually.
Hmm.
But by the time we got there, that had all cleared off, and it was just baking hot sunshine all day long.
You
Um,
haven't got burnt. You haven't got burnt though,
no, I was like in factor 50 all weekend.
right?
I caught it a bit.
Okay.
Actually, the only day I actually caught the sun and got kind of a bit burnt was on the Sunday because it
Right.
was cooler. I forgot to double up later in the day, so
Hmm.
I didn't put it back on again. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it was the weather. We were so lucky. The weather was absolutely amazing. Like all weekend, it was great.
Fab. So Friday, who's your highlight on Friday?
Friday, my highlight was probably Sting. Actually,
Okay.
it wasn't
Yeah.
as bad as maybe I thought it was going to be. He wasn't as
Okay.
I heard rumors that he could be a bit noodly, like songs would go on longer than they were supposed to, and there was an element of that, but it was
Right.
fine.
Okay.
And he played a load of
Did
police stuff.
I was going to say, did he play a load of police stuff? You'd like to think that he did because he obviously co-wrote, if not wrote, a lot of it. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Okay, that's good. That's
so
good.
that was good. So yeah, so that ended up being okay. Faithless, we left early. Um,
Oh no, why?
what would I say about Faithless? I think the thing you forget about Faithless is that it's quite a although it's dance music, it's quite slow dance music. It's not
Hmm.
it's not the Prodigy, is it?
No.
It's much more kind of like a
If you're not
weed vibe to it, I guess.
I was just gonna say, if you're not, imbibing is imbibing the right word?
Yeah,
If you're not
that's about right, I
imbibing
think.
anything
Yeah.
if you're not imbibing in anything, then yeah, I can see what you mean.
It was
Yeah,
it was
okay.
impressive because they did it all with a live band, but there wasn't any
Oh,
way
nice.
really of noticing that until we were back home. So they were still playing when we got home and live on Sky, so we kind of watched the end of
Okay,
it. Um
okay.
I think we got to like God is a DJ, and we're like, yeah, let's just. We were tired, let's go home. So we left
Yeah,
pretty early
yeah,
on the Friday. Um,
okay. And Saturday, who's the highlight on Saturday? Highlight or highlights?
it was probably the Stereophonics for me. Nothing else.
Oh, little Kelly.
Yeah, Paul Heaton was very good on Saturday afternoon. He was really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, I
Um,
imagine he would be.
and the Stereophonics, they did what they do. They kind of came out, they played
Mhm.
their hits. They didn't play Thousand Trees, which is my favorite Stereophonic song, so I was disappointed.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a shame.
isn't isn't that horrible when there's a band that's got quite a few albums, and you're just waiting for that one song. Just that I mean, it's like I'll be really happy if I just hear that one song, and then they don't bloody play it. It's like, oh no. It's great to hear other tracks, but there's that one song which is your real favourite, and you're waiting, and they don't play it. It's so frustrating.
It was yeah, it was a bit annoying. Razorlight were good Saturday afternoon as well. Although it's weird because
Okay.
I can remember them like the pair of them, Stereophonics and Razorlight, like joint headlining a night at Isle of Wight Festival, and then they were so far
Yeah,
apart on the
yeah.
bill. It was like, oh, they've gone in different directions for those two bands. It's quite interesting.
Wow. It's funny how it changes the listings, like where people sit in the listings, but bands sit in the listings.
Yeah. So that was Saturday. I should also say, like, it was so hot on Saturday, like almost unbearable at times.
Oh, it was dreadful Saturday. Dreadful. Too
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, and my friend, you might have seen on Facebook, my friend Amber and her little pack of friends, they had all dressed up as penguins. So they were all in these like black outfits.
Oh, God. And who was it who said on the photos? Just to let you know, such and such is not a badger. It's obvious they were a penguin.
So that had no connection to that.
As far as I remember, badgers don't have yellow beaks.
They don't. Correct.
I might be wrong, but
Correct.
I don't think so. Oh, so they must have been boiling.
Yes, they were absolutely baking. So yeah, I mean, I admire it, but I'm glad I wasn't dressed as a penguin. I've got to be honest.
No. Did you do fancy dress at all?
No, I don't really do it, mate. It's not really my thing.
No, not since the Swan.
Not since the Swan, which we still haven't talked about on the podcast properly. So one day we'll talk about.
One day.
My one bit of fancy dress, which let's be honest was brilliant. It was genius.
It was genius. It was. I did have one of the. I don't know if I still got it. I had one of the feathers. Okay, so Sunday highlights on Sunday. Was it Justin Timberlake?
God no, it was
I bet
not
it was
Justin
good.
Timberlake.
Oh
No, I mean, if you were into him and who liked Justin Timberlake stuff,
there's quite a few people who would want to be into him.
well, I mean, this was a common theme all weekend, was women just kind of siding up to you and going, I would, to either Sting, who is, let's be honest, I think 72. So that was happening. You had it happening during
geez.
Kelly for Stereophonics. Oh, look at little Kelly, I would.
Yeah.
That came up. That was kept being said. And then it kept happening again for Justin Timberlake as well. So, but yeah, it's just not. It's not my bag.
AKA Justin Trouser Snake.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so who was your highlight on Sunday then?
So I think Neve Ella was probably my highlight. So the opportunity to go see Neve. Yeah, and we haven't really, I think we've said on the actual podcast, but our friends Scott and Jodie, their son Finn is Neve Ella's guitarist, and so they were playing in the big top. So I was like, I'm going to go down and watch. So I got down there really early to make sure that I got a good spot. And so I was, and then Jill Mark and their kids, Jack and Charlotte, both came down as well. So there were all of us there to watch.
Because they would have grown up with not grown up with Finn, but they would have known him as they were all growing up together, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they went to like Festival and Camp Festival together. So they were really keen to see him on stage. And it was so cool. And like about halfway through the set, he sort of spotted me, and he's very serious on stage, Finn. And he's sort of like huge grin, and I just like tap my heart to say, to just kind of say, and I genuinely, I text Scott and said, God, like the opening couple of songs, I found it quite emotional. I was like, oh God, this is somebody I know on stage at my festival, the one I've been coming to for like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was really lovely. And they were also brilliant. They were really great. They were like the one thing that I hadn't really had all weekend, which was like a proper guitar band on stage.
I haven't had a chance to see them yet. But obviously I'd love to see them play. And I bet Fran was really good. The girl who's the bassist.
She's very active on stage. She's she just moves around.
Bounces around. Yeah,
she does. Yeah, she does. And Neve as well. You can see her like she's developing her stagecraft. She's becoming she's becoming a proper front woman. She's great. She's really good.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And the drummer looks like a bit of a character as well. So yeah, they look like they're having fun while they're up there, which is great.
Oh, that's always good, because that was one of my things to ask you, because obviously I saw your photos and I was going to say to you, how is Neve Ella? Oh, that's great. That's really
it was cool. And then the people next to me realised that they saw the interaction between Finn and I, and the woman next to me was like, "Do you know them?" And I'm like, "Well, I know Finn. I know Finn because he's my." I've
known Finn since he was about 7.
I was literally like showing them my phone, going, "Look, I'm texting his dad.
Oh.
So yeah, so they were my highlight. I really so if you haven't checked out Nevada, do. I'll put a link on Spotify on in the show notes to the Spotify
Yeah.
for her. But yeah, they were really good. They were great. So yeah, I was disappointed by Justin Timberlake. I have to be honest. And there was loads of people around us were going, we don't know this one. We don't know this one. He was playing loads of stuff that no one knew. And then literally it felt like he still had he stopped, and I was like, oh, it's going to be the encore, and I was like, get on with the fireworks, get him off. And as I turned around to face everybody else, the fireworks went up behind me, and he'd gone, he was done. It was really anticlimactic.
What, you didn't do an encore?
No, there was no encore.
How weird.
Yeah,
I mean, the final act always does an encore. Most
Yeah, he
bands do an
didn't.
encore,
He
but
didn't.
especially the final act.
I mean, he
Oh.
did like Cry Me a River about 3 songs in, and like even Zoe, like my best mate Zoe, was like, he's done it, Gray, we can go home. We can go home.
I've seen the track, we can go.
Yeah. But it, despite the fact the lineup wasn't great, I still had a really good weekend, and I found a little food place that was quiet but was selling great Sri Lankan rice bowls and stuff. So I found some really good food, which makes such a difference as well.
Yeah,
And then the other thing I should say is the toilets were amazing. They had this little troop of people that were keeping them really clean all weekend. Did an amazing job. The toilets
that makes a huge difference.
loo roll in every toilet all of the time. It was just when I think what it used to be like there, when people were just pissing up against the fence. It's really moved on from what it used to be. And I bumped into some old friends. I saw Scott and Joe, who listen to the podcast and send us emails. Saw both of them. It's the first time I'd seen Scott really since we've been doing the podcast, and he was like, that's Joe's partner. He was going, I know you better than your boss than Joe does, because I listen to the podcast all the time, which was quite funny. Yeah, he loves it, talking to me about music and all the stuff he'd grown up with off the back of the Grace Banger episode. He was like, oh, we're so similar in terms of the music that we like, which was great. It was really nice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you had a good weekend. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it was good. It was good. And now I'm tired. I'm tired.
So I do think you need to explain something about Twisty. But so let me just before we came on air, Gray said to me, oh, I've already got the name of the episode. And I said, okay, because normally when Gray's editing, he works out something funny that we've said, or just works out what the name's going to be.
It's normally something you've said. Let's be honest.
Okay, normally something that I've said that's obviously incredibly hilarious, and that ends up being the name of the podcast. And he said to me, oh, just to let you know, I'll explain it to you later, but the episode's going to be called Twisty. So, Gray, why is this episode called Twisty?
So,
and if it ends out being one of those jokes where you had to be there, it's going to fall flat on its face.
Oh, I absolutely will, but I'm still going to call the episode that regardless. So just to warn everybody. I mean, everybody that's watching will know, or listening will already know, that it's called Twisty. So you know how you have little in jokes with your friends that sometimes go on for decades. So with me and my friend Zoe, there is a thing where if she constantly will lose a phone or a vape or something, and she'll go, I've lost it, Gray, I've lost it, and then she'll look in her bag and suddenly it pulls it out, and we always go, here he is, every time. So that's an example of the sort of thing. Okay. And so I had gone and got her and her boyfriend Steve and myself some drinks from the bar, and was bringing it over in one of those trays where you can mount your cups in.
Yep.
Got to them. Steve pulls his drink out, no problem. Zoe is going, it won't come out, Gray, it won't come out. So I was like, mate, you've just got to, if you just twist it a little bit and it'll come out. And Zoe just looked up at me and she just went, Twisty! And that was it for the rest of the weekend. Every so often, Zoe and I would just glance at each other and one of us would just say, Twisty! And it got kind of more manic as the weekend went on. And the more drunk Zoe got. So yeah.
The more high pitched, the more
it got really loud and high pitched.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that was the thing. So that was the silly little thing. And as soon as she said it, I was like, mate, we've got a new one. We've got something new. It's new content. And then the I am not a badger thing, which brilliantly you have already referenced, which I'm loving, and which is hilarious because now I haven't got to do it. Zoe said to Steve, go and get yourself a soft drink. And for some unbeknown reason, Steve just went, I'm not a badger. I'm not a badger. No relevance at all to getting a soft drink. And then so that stuck all weekend, and Steve would not stop saying it.
It's funny because going back to Twisty, first of all, yeah, that's absolutely makes perfect sense, and I can see you and Zoe having that interaction completely.
Yeah, it's me and Zoe to a T, that.
But when you said about the other thing, there he is. I've heard you say that with me countless times as well. If I've lost something, or if all of a sudden you're like, there he is.
Yeah, we do it all the time. Do it all the time.
Okay, so this week's sponsor is the Ferns Golf Club, which is managed by Ron and his team. It's an 18-hole golf club. There's a driving range. There's a clubhouse.
Wow.
There's obviously the shop and then the buggy hire. And Ron and his team have very kindly offered and said that if you pop down to the golf club and mention the podcast, they will deep clean and polish your balls for you. Yeah, deep clean and a high polish of your balls. So
wow,
yeah,
okay.
I thought that was. I mean, apparently it really ups your game. Really ups.
Does
your
it?
Game. Yeah, apparently so.
Okay, I'm not a golfer. My mum will be listening and probably nodding along, I imagine.
I'm not a golfer either. But no. So yeah, thank you very much, Ron and the team, for that generous offer.
So pop round, drop your balls in, and
drop your balls in for a deep clean and a polish.
And a polish. See,
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. That's so
high shine polish.
High shine polish.
Oh yeah, bit of buffing going on.
Wow. You want to blind yourself when the sun hits them.
No.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much, Emily. Last week was the draw, wasn't it? It was the prize draw.
Last week was the draw. Yeah. Everyone's collected their Betamax and they're very, very happy.
Welcome back, everyone. Emily, tell me about your weekend. Maybe before you do that, tell me about what's going on with your tongue. You seem to be touching.
It really hurts. You know those, they're not taste buds, they're something else. The little bobbly things that are all over your tongue.
Yeah.
One of those has got inflamed this afternoon and is giving me grief. It's so painful.
Crikey. Okay. It's like a little ulcer, isn't it? It's like a little ulcer on your tongue.
But I keep catching it because it's right at the front and I keep catching it. And it literally, there's certain words or sounds that I say and it just goes in between two teeth at the top and just really hurts.
Anyway.
Thanks.
You want to tell us about your weekend?
Well, what did I do? Nothing on Friday night. Went training with the dog on Saturday, but it was so hot. We just ended up doing a massive pack walk. And then went out for a couple of drinks on. It was really nice, actually.
Waiting for the word drink to appear.
Went out for a couple of lime and sodas. On Saturday, and it was really nice because we found a pub where it's outside but it's in the shade and it wasn't busy because it's one of those pubs where if you know it, you know it. If you don't, and it was really lovely. So we're in the shade, and then it was one of those really lovely afternoons where somebody walked past and we were like, oh, hey, how are you? I had a chat with them. That was lovely. And then half an hour later, someone else walked past. Oh, hi, how are you? One of them stopped for a drink. It was just really lovely. Yeah. And then Sunday, what did I do Sunday? I went to see my dad on Sunday. He got back from holiday.
Oh, yeah. How was his trip to Croatia?
Yeah, really good. Really good. Yeah, I had a lovely time. I was in charge of watering his plants, especially his beans, runner beans, cherry tomatoes, and his potatoes, as well as all of his plants and flowers and things.
I noticed tonight some of my tomatoes have gone red now.
Have they?
Yeah, properly ripening.
Well, this was what was weird. So I think when I watered on Wednesday, because he said, "Oh, has anything happened with the beans or the tomatoes yet?" And I said, "No, no, no, we're still just at flowering stage." Um, Water them on the Thursday, nothing. Water them on the Friday, nothing. Water them on no, that's it, nothing on Thursday. Water them on Friday evening, went round, and all of a sudden there's 4 beans that are, you know, an inch and a bit long, and there's little tomatoes literally overnight. It was incredible. It was really lovely. So I was, yay!
Yeah, I've got quite a
Um,
few. Got quite a few tomatoes
uh,
growing. I
mine's
will
still
post a picture update of my little red tomatoes.
mine's still just flowering stage.
Oh, maybe they're not gonna. Maybe they're not
Well,
gonna
then
happen.
I haven't. It's quite a big plant, but I haven't got many flowers. I've only got about a dozen flowers.
Oh dear,
I know
that's disappointing, isn't it?
it is.
Sure, it'll be fine. Sure, it'll be
I'm sure
fine.
it'll be fine. So yeah, I sort of had a bit of a nice chilled out weekend. Really, yeah, it was lovely.
Nice, cool.
Yeah,
That sounds fun.
yeah.
That sounds fun. Did you have something you wanted me to go watch?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What is it?
So
What is it?
it's on BBC iPlayer.
Twisty, twisty.
What's that got to do with the price of fish?
Nothing. Just thought I'd throw it in. See if it worked. Didn't. Chop it out.
Okay, it's on BBC iPlayer.
Okay.
It's called "What It Feels Like for a Girl."
Well, why have I heard of this? Maybe I haven't. What it feels like for a
So
girl. Go on, tell me about it.
it's new.
I'm going to make a note of it while you talk about it so I don't forget.
Okay, it's new. I am probably on the 4th, if not 5th episode.
Who's in it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
There's actually only, if I think about it, there's only one person that I recognise, and I think they're in the Young Offenders. I'm not sure, but it's about this young lad called Byron from up north who is having a not fun time with his mum and dad. There's a few struggles with his sexuality, and his dad's a massive dick, if I'm honest.
Okay.
And his mum just wants to go out partying all the time, and he's just left to his own little devices. And it's really, really good. There are lots of twists and turns that I was not expecting at all, not expecting. And he is a brilliant actor, absolutely brilliant, and it's great, and I love it.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, please watch it.
Okay. I will take a look.
Let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know what you
Okie dokie.
think.
There's another new show on iPlayer that might be quite interesting for us to watch at some point called Shifty by the filmmaker
Okay.
Adam Curtis.
Shifty.
Yeah, so it's about how I think it's kind of about how like culture has shifted in the UK over
Oh
the course
wow.
of the last like 40 years, or maybe more broadly like the world, but I think particularly the UK
Oh,
over the last
interesting.
40,
Okay.
yeah, like how I guess how people have got used to having like phones in their hands, how people have got used to being on camera all the time,
Mhm.
how there's a bit of a
Mhm.
sense of everybody becoming like, a bit like we are, I guess, like content creators, and whether that's right and
Yeah.
healthy and all that kind. So, but it's all done, I think, through the prism of looking back through old footage over the course of 40 years worth of history, which I think
Oh
is quite,
wow.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
called Shifty.
Oh yeah, I think I'll really like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought it sounded quite interesting. I heard about it today. So yeah, maybe at some point we could watch that. But yes, I
Okay.
will go watch that. What it feels like to be a girl. I'll check that out.
What it feels like for a girl.
Okay, what it feels like. I'm sure it'll find it.
And we must let everybody know as well that this weekend we are meeting up in person because we're having a special episode.
We are.
Similar to our Desert Island Discs, but not music. We're going to be discussing films.
Yes, we will talk about it at the time, but we are stealing another
Mhm.
podcast's kind of framing for how to do that, the movie bit. So yeah, we will we'll do that next weekend. So yes, next week's episode will be different to this one. It'll be an in-person job. Do you want to tell people where they can find us, Emily?
Yes, of course. Now, again, we still haven't had an email for the last 2 weeks. So, listeners, you are a disgrace. You are letting us down. We would love to hear from you.
I can almost hear Amber typing one as she hears that.
Amber, quick fire questions. Anything that you have? I will read emails out on the podcast, and Gray and I will discuss them together. You can find us at the Geek and the Freak pod at gmail.com.
You can, and you can also find us as the Geek and the Freak pod on Instagram, and you can find us as the Geek and the Freak on TikTok. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and we will see you same time next week. Bye for now. Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye. I've adopted a dog from a blacksmith.
Oh.
The minute I got him home, he made a bolt for the door.
Oh, I like that one.
That was good, right? I like that one.
What did the horse say after it tripped?
I don't know. What did it say?
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Oh my God. You're right. Mine was better.
It was.